first part of the chant. Just gonna fix it so I can see your texts, your chats as they come in. Okay. Hi, nai, 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 nai. Here's the second piece. Hanai, nai, 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 yadai, nai, Hanai, nai, 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 Hanai, nai, nai. The whole thing. Halai, dai, 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 hanai, da, da, dai, 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 yo. Hanai, nai, 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 nai. Nai, 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 hanai, da, 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 hanai, nai, 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 yadai, nai, Good evening. Welcome to everybody. Wonderful to see you all. Thanks and welcome to all of the different communities that help to make this community-wide Jewish meditation happen. I want to offer for today's theme and learning what we are studying in the Torah of Awakening community. We gather on most weekdays for learning, and right now we are looking at what I call the 23rd path, which is the letter MEM. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you see the MEM on there? Okay, great. So the counting of 23 has to do with the particular framing of the 10 sfirot and the 22 letters as being the 32 paths of wisdom. So the 10 sfirot are numbers 1 through 10, and then ALEPH, which is normally number 1, becomes number 11, and that's why MEM is 23. So MEM, as you may know, is like Mayim, which is water. And just as water just effortlessly takes the shape of whatever vessel it's poured into. It doesn't resist. It doesn't try to make the vessel into a shape other than what it is. It just flows in and takes that shape. And so this is actually a function or a property or a quality of consciousness itself. That consciousness effortlessly, right now in this moment, is taking the shape of what you're perceiving. So besides hearing my words right now, the feeling of your body, the shape of the room around you, the feel of the room, whatever ambient mood you happen to have, or feelings, emotions, whatever thoughts arise, all of those things are happening inside consciousness, and consciousness effortlessly just takes the shape of that. And we can utilize that property. It's true for everyone that consciousness is taking that shape, but we're not necessarily aware of that. And when we become aware of it, and we adopt an attitude of allowing our awareness to take the shape of whatever is present, of whatever is arising in experience, then this shift can happen. And that shift is from the sense of me as a person inside my body, perceiving these other things out there and also in here, to feeling that you are the consciousness that is taking the shape of whatever's being perceived. And in that sense, there's a feeling of fluidity, of surrender. The quality of forgiveness, which is also written here, has to do with letting go, not holding a shape. So the opposite of forgiveness would be like if you poured the water in the vessel and it refused to touch one of the sides. It was like, I'm not going to touch that side. Well, that's the opposite of forgiveness, right? It's we have elements in our nervous system, people, memories that are there that we don't want to go there because we resist that experience that we had with that person, whatever it was in the past. And so this potential to really surrender, to no longer resist anything that is in our past or worry about anything in the future, but just to come fully into connection with the moment as it arises right now. These are all properties of the letter MEM. We're going to study some Torah. Let's say a little bracha. And one moment, I'm going to give you the ability to unmute so you can say Amen when we get to that. If you want to say it with me, of course you can. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Please feel free to unmute yourself and give an Amen. Oops, wait a minute. You didn't have the ability. Hold on. Okay, now say Amen.
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 Thank you. I knew something was wrong. There wouldn't be a meeting like this where everyone refused to say Amen. Okay. Here's a little portion from this week's Parsha that we're beginning, Parshat Hukat. And in the context of the reading, this is talking about particular ritual laws about how a person is fit or not fit in the ritual sense to come into the Mikdash, to come into Mishkan and offer offerings and so on. And so it says, Zot HaTorah, this is the teaching, Adam ki yamut ba'ohel. When a person, an Adam, dies in the ohel, in the tent, kol haba el ha'ohel, everyone who comes in the tent, v'chol asher ba'ohel yitma shivat yamim. They will all be tameh, which means like ritually unfit for 7 days. Now there's a wonderful Hasidic spin on this verse, which takes just the first few words, where it says, Zot HaTorah Adam. And it was going on to say that the Adam dies in the tent, or this is the law of a person who dies in a tent. But if you take just those words, it could be read as, this is the Torah, a person. In other words, the idea is that a person, a human being, is a Torah. There's a story of Reb Yitzchak of Vorki that he came to a gathering of Hasidim of his master, the Maggid of Mezrish, and when he was there, all of the Hasidim asked him to sit in the Maggid's seat because the Maggid had passed away some years before. And he said, there's no way I'm going to do that. I used to stand at least, half the length of the room back from the Maggid because I was in such awe of him. I'm not going to sit in his chair. But when they sat down and they started to have their meal, all of the Hasidim started clamoring around to get to him, because they were really seeing him as their new Rebbe, and they were pushing and shoving each other and trying to get closer and trying to get closer. And finally he says, my friends, you know, we understand that we're not supposed to pile holy books on each other, right? It's just generally not done out of respect for the books. We don't heap them on top of each other. And as it says in the Torah, Zot HaTorah Adam, a person actually is a Torah. And so I would prefer if you don't clamor over each other and pile yourselves on top of each other, but respect each person as if they're a Torah. And one of the Hasidim who was there said, if I had only come just to hear that one statement, it would have been enough, Dayenu. So it's a teaching that has, obviously on the surface, the teaching is just saying have some composure, don't be pushing and shoving, but it's a little bit more than that. I'm going to come back to the text here. Let's look at some other words in the verse a little bit. Adam ki yamut ba'ohel. When a person dies in a tent. So we could understand all of these things really as symbolic. An ohel, or a tent, can represent our own bodies, because our bodies are a tent or a container, a vessel for the consciousness that is dwelling within it. And the word yamut, dies, has the word yam in it. Yam means ocean or sea. And the vav after yam can mean and, because vav means and as a prefix. And the tav is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, so we can understand tav as meaning the end of something. Yam, or ocean, as we were talking about before, is actually a metaphor. It's one of the main metaphors for consciousness. There are other metaphors for consciousness too, such as light, and even air, breath. It can also be a metaphor for consciousness, but water and the ocean is one of those metaphors. And seen in this way, yamut ba'ohel, dies in a tent, can be read the end of the ocean of consciousness in the tent of the body. In other words, it's referring to not being present in the body. Our life energy is maybe off in our mind thinking about things, but not really present in the body. And so the irony in this little Hasidic anecdote is that though we may be eager to hear a teaching, so that we rush and push and shove and get stressed and aggressive and so on, that creates the state of tameh, disconnection from presence in the body, which is, of course, the opposite of spiritual teaching in general. It contradicts. It's like you're rushing and rushing and pushing to hear the message that you need to be present. So what's the remedy? Well, one of the remedies is this path that we're studying today, the path of MEM, letting go of time, not reaching after the future. In other words, not pushing and shoving in order to get to something else, but to actually connect with where you are. Not holding on to the past, not referring to it in your mind as something that you are emotionally interested in. Of course, we have to think about the past for practical reasons, and maybe even for appreciation reasons, appreciating something wonderful about the past. But to be stuck or caught in the past in some way, that's the place to let go. And of course, the most important thing is not the past or the future, but actually the moment that we're in, because this is where life is happening. And this is MEM, merging with the shape of the moment. So this is a chant for the letter MEM. It comes from the traditional prayer for rain that happens on Shmini Atzeret, which we're not so much in that time, but we are in a drought in certain parts of the country, so perhaps it's appropriate in that way. It says, Chon Chashrat Mayim, grant abundant water. Al Timna Mayim, do not hold back water. And I'd like to offer that when we chant these words, that we have the understanding that we're not just talking about physical water, but that we are calling forth our capacity to merge with the moment, to let ourselves not hold back the water, but let that flow of consciousness open and connect with the fullness of this moment. Ribono shel olam, please may it be your will that as we chant these words, that this quality of MEM, of surrender and forgiveness and merging with the moment, be brought forth from potential into actuality in all of us who are here chanting tonight. Hon hashrat mayim atim namayim Hon hashrat mayim Actually, we'll repeat the first line 4 times. Hon hashrat mayim Hon hashrat mayim Hon hashrat mayim Let's bring our bodies into a comfortable but alert position, letting the hands be unencumbered, letting your eyes be closed or unfocused. We're going to chant some words, so if you need to look at the screen when we get to those, that's fine, but generally just not looking around at things. And bringing forth the kavanah within, of simply offering your attention from your heart to this moment. Just as you would give your attention if someone you love wants to speak with you. Or if you saw something beautiful, you'd give your attention with love. In the same way, bringing your right hand to your heart to bring forth this intention of offering your awareness to the fullness of this moment as it arises, to the divine as it manifests as this moment. And we're going to chant the word lecha, which means for you, on a long out breath, offering attention with lecha, deep breath in. Lecha. Your right hand still on your heart, bringing left hand also to your belly. Letting awareness flow down like water, filling your belly, soaking into your cells, flowing downward from your belly, down through your legs, to your feet and toes, filling the lower part of your body with consciousness. Awareness rising upward from your belly into your chest, heart and lungs, shoulders and neck. Flowing down through your arms and hands and fingers, connecting back with your heart and belly, permeating your whole torso and limbs with consciousness. And rising upward into your face, facial muscles, brain and nervous system. Bringing a little smile to your lips to be this generous, benevolent presence in the body. Feeling the flow of your breathing. Letting go of the stream of thinking. Noticing when thoughts come and just saying, okay. There's a thought, but not engaging with it, not trying to push it away either, but just returning awareness to the feeling of your breathing. And affirming this body connection with na'aseh on a long out breath. Deep breath in. Na'aseh. That fills your body, shine like light from your body out in all directions, expanding field of consciousness beyond your body, and bringing your right hand from your heart to lightly touch your forehead. So left hand on the belly, right hand on the forehead. Knowing that the perception of the sounds and the whole space around you is all inside this vast field of consciousness, this silent, radiant vastness without boundary or border. And you are this consciousness within but beyond the body, within but beyond thoughts and feelings. We affirm identity with this vast, spacious field with the word V'nishma. Deep breath in. V'nishma. And kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands. Atyahu. You are Yah, you who are the fullness of being, you who are incarnate in all forms, all perceptions, you who are not separate from this consciousness that we are hearing these words, you who are reality itself, being itself, existence itself, resting our mind in the vibration of the words as we chant together, Atyahu. As we come into silence, just continuing to rest your thinking mind in the repetition of the tefillah, Atyahu, letting it repeat in your mind, breathing naturally but a little more deeply and slowly, letting your body be very still, letting your hands be resting in your lap, or however is comfortable, letting your spine be relatively straight, preferably not leaning too much one way or the other. When thoughts come into the mind, the idea is not to fight them or push them away, but just to notice and allow them to dissipate on their own, just returning the mind again and again to the tefillah, Atyahu. And we'll come into silence for about 7 minutes. closing the meditation, once again bringing your right hand to your heart and offering your attention from the heart to the fullness of this moment as it is appearing now with the word lecha and a long out breath. Deep breath in. Lecha. Left hand to your belly, feeling awareness permeating through all of your organs, healing light penetrating your cells, expanding out from your belly, downward through your legs, upward through your torso, arms and hands and fingers, upward into your face, facial muscles, bringing a little smile to your lips. Feeling the flow of breathing, consciously remembering to release, let go of the stream of thinking, and affirming this body awareness with Na'aseh. Deep breath in. Na'aseh. Right hand to lightly touch your forehead, awareness shining like light beyond the body in all directions, creating a vast formless field of consciousness without boundary or border, luminescent, silent, and spacious. And you are this vastness. V'nishma. Deep breath in. V'nishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands. Ribono shel olam, may it be that as we come back into our evenings, that we remain connected to this inner quality of consciousness that we are, this quality of mayim, to be in alignment, to be merged with, to be non-resistant to the truth of our experience, to the truth of what is always in this moment. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Amen. And let's do a healing prayer. You're welcome to type into the chat the names of the folks for whom you'd like to make a healing prayer. And as we see those names come in, we hold them all in our intention and our prayer. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la. Yiraton milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'avotenu v'imotenu shetishloch meheira refuah shelema, refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf l'chol hacholim. May there be a complete healing of body, mind, and spirit to all of those that we hold in our prayers and all who are in need. And we say, Amen.
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 And if you are saying Kaddish, you're invited to rise with me in body or spirit. If you are in the first 11 months of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, anniversary of a death, or saying Kaddish for any other reason, you're welcome to say Kaddish with me on mute, unless there's someone else here that would like to lead Kaddish. If so, just let me know. Otherwise, say Kaddish on mute. But everyone else, please briefly unmute yourselves for the responses, the Amen, Brichu, and Yehi Shmei Rabbah. And it'll take me just a moment to stand up and get ready to say Kaddish.
Did someone else want to lead the Kaddish? Okay, so I'm going to mute folks, but those who are not saying Kaddish, unmute yourselves briefly for the responses. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'zman kari v'yamru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi
Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach V'olam Omei Almaya.
Barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu
Rechu.
la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shamaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yamru Amen.
Amen.
Osei Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yamru Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in tonight for this special once a month, second Mondays, community-wide Jewish meditation. We're also reaching out to any community that wants to join in this is welcome. So if anybody here is connected with a community that would like to connect with this, that would be wonderful. And special thanks to all the community, the 8 communities that are part of this. I wish everybody a blessed evening, be well, be safe. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes just in case anybody has any questions about Torah of Awakening for me. And anyone who does not want to stay on, you're welcome to unmute yourself and wish each other Laila Tov.
Laila Tov.
Thank you, Laila Tov.
Thank you, Brian.
Laila Tov.
Laila Tov, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, Baruch Hashem, just wanted to see if anybody had any questions, and if so, you can just unmute yourself.
How is there a mailing list, or is there? How do I get invited each month?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, since you registered for this, I have a special list for this, so I will send you a reminder already, so you don't even have to worry about that.
Great.
I also send a follow-up email after the event. So either later tonight or tomorrow, I'll send you an email that just tells you the different things that are available from Torah of Awakening. So you can check that out and explore it as works for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh, hi, Kitty. I see Kitty wrote a little chat that you found about this today. Baruch Hashem. If anybody wants the slides that I had put up on the thing, just let me know and I can send that to you. If you're not sure, if you don't have my email, you'll receive an email from me anyway after this event, but you can also go to TorahofAwakening.com. That's always the way to reach me. TorahofAwakening.com. Oh, Jennifer, you started doing the oh, okay, that's wonderful. Jennifer is doing the some of the
Yes,
courses.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so-
just started in the past 2 days and watched the whole introductory video today. So
Oh,
to
great.
see, it was great and
Oh,
very
wonderful.
similar to what you did right now. So very
That's
helpful.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, the first one of those is the basic practice that we did today.
Okay.
And then as you go through, you'll get into a little bit more advanced practices.
And is the audio version, the 25-minute, is that similar to the video? It's just kind of an audio slightly shorter?
Yeah, it's
25
shorter. The only difference is that the video just gives a little bit more learning part to it. So it has some more texts and some more things to get into that support the context of the practice.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to learning more and learning more. Thanks so much. This was really lovely.
Thank you. It's good to meet you.
You too. Laila Tov. I'll be on video one of these days when I'm not out of it and tired.
All right, that's okay. That's okay. Whatever
Thank you, everybody. Laila Tov.
Laila Tov.
Laila Tov.
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed this. It was so wonderful. And I intended to be with you this year, and I haven't been. But just being here tonight reminded me of what I've been missing and how wonderful you are. And
thank you.
I just wanted to ask you about your melodies. Are those your original melodies for these words?
Yeah, so most of the melodies that I do, especially the ones that are associated with the letters, because this year we're going through the Hebrew letters in a more methodical way. So like if you wanted to join in, for example, you can join in any time, and then you could go back and have access to the sessions of all the letters leading up, and also the Sefirot and so on.
And
So
where would this be?
So if you just go to TorahofAwakening.com, then you can sign up as a member, and you can try. The membership is normally like a monthly contribution of $36, but you can sign up to try it free for a month. And when you're a member, you just log in and you can go back and access all the past lessons and hear all the melodies and everything. There are also 20-minute meditations that go with it, kind of pretty much like we did tonight, but a little bit shorter for all of the paths, the 32 paths. So what I do is I took there are different scales. There are actually 31 different scales. If you take the 7-note scale and alter the notes that can be altered, there's 31 of them. So
they were in the last one was minor mode, right? Or
it had a minor third, but it also had a minor second, which is a little bit unusual. So it sounded kind of like, if you're familiar with music theory, it sounds sort of like a Phrygian mode, except it had a natural 6. So it's not a Phrygian mode. It sounds like da 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 da. So it's unusual. You get these unusual sounds with all the different variations, and it has a wonderful effect on the nervous system to be able to produce within ourselves. Like when we hear it, we're really producing it again in our own minds. So we're learning to think, we're building new neural connections, because we're in Western music, we're used to just hearing the basic major scale and minor scale. But there are 28 more.
28, that, in terms of combinations of notes?
Yeah, exactly. Like which notes are altered, like flat or sharp and so on.
I'm teaching myself to play pop piano, and I'm kind of learning some diminished chords right now.
Yeah, diminished chords are great because they're symmetrical. So since they're symmetrical, there's only 3 of them. You can a C sharp diminished chord is the same as an E diminished chord, is the same as a G diminished chord, is the same as a B flat diminished chord.
I didn't know that.
Just turned upside down. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that, but it's half step, half step, half. It's 3 half steps between each.
Right. That's right. 3 half steps, also known as a minor third. And there's a whole Kabbalah of music. That's something I'm gonna.
Kabbalah of music?
Yeah, I'm gonna teach that at a later time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe sometime next year I'll start bringing that out.
You should teach something for Aquarian Minyan. Like, you really should.
You know what? You're the 3rd or 4th person who asked me, and I keep saying I'm fine. I'd love to teach something to Aquarian Minyan. Let's do it.
Contact Lorelei. She is in charge, or Jonathan Seidel. Really.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'll
don't
tell
know.
them both.
I don't have it.
Yeah, there's so much you could teach. Kabbalah of music sounds fascinating. And for movement, Rabbi Tamima Ikovitz, do you know Tamima?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
She does the liquid Kabbalah. The it's all continuum movement with the Sefirot. Yeah, I've done one session with her when I was in Santa Monica, and she's teaching 4 sessions for Aquarian Minyan.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Is that similar to yoga, like vinyasa yoga flow?
Continual movement is different. I had never
Okay.
done it before. There's a lot more to it than my one time. It involves breath and spontaneous movement, but very slowly.
Mm.
And you can go
Oh,
on
wow.
the floor. It's sort of like moving like an animal. You know, you become, but in slow motion. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something together. Have her come and
Like,
do something.
yeah, you could contact her. She's amazing. She's
Yeah.
at a Havurah Kadisha conference,
Okay.
which I thought about, but I'm spending so much money on Zooms and conferences. So you're going to continue on Zoom, I sense, right?
Well, there's Zoom, and then there will be, as we open up more, as COVID gets more under control, there'll be more live things. We are doing high holidays in Berkeley at Urban Adamah, speaking of Aquarium Minion. So that is happening live this year.
And as far as where are you now? Are you in Arizona?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. Is it very hot?
Yeah, it's like let's see what I can see what the temperature is. It's like 150. What do you think, Sen? And the weather here. Oh, here it is. It's 106 right now.
Dry heat, though, I hope.
Very dry.
And we are in a serious drought, severe
Yeah.
here. And my last question is, where in the Shmini Atzeret service is the rain prayer? I want to start saying it.
Well, if you have a Siddur, you have a Siddur with all the different.
I can get one.
Yeah. It's part of the, it comes towards the end of the service. I'm not sure if it's inside the Musaf service or if it's.
I have so many. I grabbed the art scroll.
Oh, if you have the art scroll, it's very easy to find because there's a whole section on Shmini Atzeret, and you'll see the prayer for rain is at least 2 pages long, but the words that we chanted tonight is the refrain that comes back again and again.
Okay, that's great. We could use those. I'm going to tell people we need to use this prayer, right?
Yeah, bring that prayer out.
Yeah, I'll find it. Thank you. We need it. We need it. Okay. All righty. Thank you so much. And
Thank
this is
you.
the format that you use where you go over, you introduce the Torah portion a little bit and the words and what you did today, and then lead into meditation, the silent meditation.
Yeah, that's the main format for the way we do it during the week is Sundays and Tuesdays, we do a longer session with some pieces of Torah text and other things. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we do a shorter 20-minute meditation.
I see. And when on Sundays? When is it? What time?
It's 10:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
Are you in California?
Yes, I have a conflict with something else, but could I come from 10:30 to 11? Would that be possible?
Oh
or is
yeah,
it
of
now?
course. Oh yeah, no, there's no problem coming in and off the Zoom that isn't distracting.
Okay, I had been meaning to come to you. You sent me email and I just haven't. I came once, I think. Okay, I'll take a look at your website, right? It's
Yeah,
Torah
you're
of
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, I have to go
It's very easy.
and enjoy. I don't, are you, just tell me, are you in the Jewish world all week in terms of what you're doing work-wise or?
Yeah, Torah of Awakening is an everyday thing for me. We do we have the sessions on Zoom every day, and then there's other things that we're planning and creating.
Nice. Oh, how great. Lovely. Yeah. Do you ever get to see Sarah Leah Mazel Tov Gradstein?
Yes, I just spoke to her the other day on the phone. And
Say-
yeah, we've done some things together before COVID. I used to go up there. And
Okay. Say hello. I know yeah,
all right.
I'm glad to hear she's doing okay. Lots
Okay,
of love.
Susan.
Thank you.
All right, be
Shalom.
well.
You too.
Laila Tov. Okay, so everyone have a good night. It's good to see you. Be well, Laila Tov.
Could
Oh.
you have a conversation about something else?
Yes.
Well, I asked you this morning,
One thing before you start, this is still live streaming. Is this like more private? Do you want me to stop the live stream?
no, that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I asked you this morning about who was going to see, who was, you were sharing the retreat video with.
Yes.
And I don't know, I've always felt that, and I mean, it seems to be kind of a general understanding about what's said in group stays in group.
That's
And even
right.
though I didn't speak very much, it's just the whole concept of what happens to recordings with Torah of Awakening. And I think we all know that all of the weekly sessions are up for anybody to see. But I was just thinking that a retreat would not be given to anybody but people who are in the retreat.
That's right. That's right. They're not. It's not given to anyone except people in the retreat, and even the people. The things that we do during the week also are only for the membership community.
Okay. Because I thought somebody said they wanted to have the recording of the retreat that wasn't part of the retreat. That was my understanding.
Oh, that's right. Someone did ask about that, and it kind of threw me for a loop because I was like, can someone register for the retreat after it happened? But that's a good point, because if they were to do that, then they would be a person that wasn't actually in the retreat. That's a good point, Sen. So now, thank you for clarifying that for me. The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the recordings of the retreat are only for the retreat people. And that question that came, I wasn't exactly sure how to answer that in the moment. But
That's okay.
now that you're
That's
saying
okay.
that, but you're
Yeah.
reminding me that was the idea all along, was for the
Yes.
recordings only to be for retreat members. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And thank you for that. And thank you always for your just incredible sharing of all your knowledge. There's not a lesson that goes by that there isn't some incredible pearl for me personally. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Sam.
Lila Tov.
Lila Tov. Good night,
Lila Tov,
Roxana.
everybody.
Good night, Marilee.